Wait.
Shall I start, Mataji?
Yeah, you can start.
Om Jnanam Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Kakshur Anlimitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave
Namaha.
Namaha. Shri Chaitanya
Manobhishtam
Manobhishtam
Sthapitam Yena Bhutale
Stapitam Yena Bhutale
Swayan Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati. Yeah, you can read, Amma, if you have it in front of you.
Okay, Mataji, 1 minute.
Yeah, just read it, no problem. It's prayer, no? It's not a test.
Om Jnanam Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Kakshur
Chakshuryatam Yena
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale
Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadamdikam.
Om Jnanam Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Kakshur Anlimitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantakam.
Vandeham Sri Guru
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Swarupa Shri Rupa Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunandanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीन बंधो जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौराणी राधे वृंदामहेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा माताजी।
कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्रीवासानि गौर भक्तविंद्र।
हरे कृष्णा
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा माताजी।
Hare Krishna. So from this tells me that all of you forgot everything. Should I start with Bhagavad Gita or should I start with day one SSR class?
Bhagavad Gita.
Bhagavad Gita. Good. So that's nice. Actually, I know once we are all so busy these days. You are all especially very busy with your academics, and because of the COVID, lot of you lost lot of classes, and so teachers are putting lot of pressure on you, and you are also getting you are also under tension, and that is the reason why I wanted to start. There are 3 reasons. One is I don't want you to lose whatever, forget whatever you have already learned, because out of mind is out of touch is out of mind, out of sight is out of mind. So once we start not practicing it or not hearing it, you want to say something, Shrinika? Yeah. You want to say something? You can take, yeah. You want to say something?
Mataji, now I have exams.
Okay, Amma. For this kind of things, don't talk in the middle. Yeah, all of us have. That is the problem. We'll talk. Just lower your hand. Okay. So that is the reason. And second one is you will lose touch. The second one is you are all under so much of pressure and tension. To get relief from this pressure and tension also, we need to understand Bhagavad Gita. That is the main purpose of Bhagavad Gita. So to understand that and to practice that, that will give you a better direction. Because the moment we come out of our tension and pressures, we will be able to perform better. So that is the reason. And the third reason is a selfish reason. Because of you, I'm learning a lot. So the moment I got discontinued with you, I also stopped learning. So I thought there is a selfish reason. These are the three reasons. And I'm sorry, last 2 months I didn't do a proper job. I was slightly not well. So I was irregular and I got busy also with some other works. So we'll start. So now that we got little discontinued with Bhagavad Gita, what we shall do is, we shall do little recap. Recap means, I'm sure regarding the science of self-realization, you don't require much of recap, because all of you know who is God. So, and all of you know why you should pray to God. Because we all know that Krishna is the God, and we all know that we need to pray to Krishna and do all this just to go back to Godhead, to go back to Krishna after we finish this life. So we all are very clear about it. Basically, that's what is taught in science of self-realization, which we remember. But then the basic question what we all get is, why you should study Bhagavad Gita at this age? This is something what people should learn at the age of 60 and above, not at this age. And I can tell you that is wrong, because that is a mistake we have done in our life. None of us in our younger days told that we have to learn Bhagavad Gita. We never learned. And out of desire to learn Bhagavad Gita, by the time we people could personally take a decision and learn Bhagavad Gita, we crossed 50. So at least if you people start learning it at the right age, you children will have time to implement it in your life and propagate it and lead a proper, righteous life. So that is the reason you should learn. So let me share my screen and then we'll start. Hare Krishna. So Bhagavad Gita as it is. This Bhagavad Gita as it is, what we are learning is written by, or Bhagavad Gita is told by Krishna, which is again the meaning of this Bhagavad Gita is written by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Varu. He has called it as it is, because there are hundreds and thousands of meanings given to Bhagavad Gita. If we just search for Bhagavad Gita in the market, we will get a lot of Bhagavad Gitas. In fact, some Bhagavad Gitas say that there is no God also. And some Bhagavad Gitas say that when Krishna says, I am the God, they interpret as they are the gods, whoever reading. So that kind of wrong interpretations have been given on this Bhagavad Gitas. So after attaining very good knowledge about Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada Varu has written this Bhagavad Gita as it is, meaning and a purport which gives an elaborate meaning of each sloka. So that's why our Bhagavad Gita as it is so thick with all the meanings. So if we understand this Bhagavad Gita in total, we will have good understanding. So we shall try to understand Bhagavad Gita. So it is not that a lot of people will be asking you, why this Bhagavad Gita and why you should learn. So it is not that some spiritual people are telling you to learn Bhagavad Gita, or it is not that some old people are asking you to learn Bhagavad Gita. Lot of intellectuals have learned, read, practiced Bhagavad Gita. So So out of this, these are the people, we have taken these three cases, these three great personalities who had commented on Bhagavad Gita that all of us should learn Bhagavad Gita. So can somebody read this? So Harshit, will you read it? Yeah, I'll do one thing. Unmuting, I'll unmute everybody, but I request you to be disciplined, and then only when I say so and so read, please they can unmute. Yeah, Harshit. Are you unmuted? Yeah, Harshit, you can unmute.
Yes, Mataji. Now I can.
Yeah.
When doubts haunt me, when disappointments stare me in the face, and I see not one ray of hope on the horizon, I turn to Bhagavad Gita and find a verse to comfort me, and I immediately began to smile in the mindset of overwhelming sorrow. Those who are those who meditate on the Bhagavad Gita will derive fresh joy and new meanings from every day. From every day.
Yeah.
From it every day.
So what Mahatma Gandhi is saying is that whenever, even though he is a great personality, he was a great warrior. I mean, warrior in the sense he fought against Britishers to get us independence. That means he must have faced lot of tensions. Lot means lot. So whenever there is a tension, the first thing what happens is we lose our thinking process. To get that thinking process back, we need peace of mind. We need a guidance from somebody who will say, this is how we should go. So we look for guidance. He is such a big man that who can give him guidance? So it is Bhagavad Gita which has given him a guidance. He always carried Bhagavad Gita with him. We carry, the way we carry our cell phones, the way we carry our wallet, he used to carry Bhagavad Gita. And so whenever he had a doubt, he says he used to open it and then he found a solution. When I was hearing about this before understanding Bhagavad Gita, learning Bhagavad Gita, I always used to get a doubt. See, different people have different problems. How can there be a solution? That means I have a particular problem. If I say, should I go to this place today or not? When I open the book, will it say, okay, you go, okay, you don't go? It won't say that. I was wondering, how can somebody get a solution like that? It is not that Bhagavad Gita says. It doesn't give a direct solution. It gives you a direction to think in the right way. And he also says, those who meditate on Bhagavad Gita, when he says those who meditate on Bhagavad Gita, what does it mean? It does not mean that we have to keep the Bhagavad Gita in front of us and then sit and meditate like this. That is not what he meant by meditate on Bhagavad Gita. What we have to do is we have to take every sloka, understand it, and think about it in a peaceful way. Our mind has to be peaceful, and then we have to, the more number of times we read any book, you people must be watching movies. The same movie you watch 3 times, 4 times, you get more understanding about the movie. The same text, you people keep studying your class books. First time you get some understanding, second time you get more understanding, third time you get more understanding. That way Bhagavad Gita also, the more times you read it, the more understanding we get on it, the more clarity we get on it. That is what is called meditation. That means concentrating our mind on a particular subject is called meditation. So the more we meditate on Bhagavad Gita, the more we understand. See, Somna Mataji has already told you a gist about Bhagavad Gita. Means chapter by chapter she has told. That means you have a broader understanding about Bhagavad Gita. So this time we are going to read sloka by sloka, get the meaning of it. So that means you are going one step further. And then later after this, you can study Bhagavad Gita on your own whenever you get a free time. Then what will happen is you will get more understanding about it. So that way, Bhagavad Gita doesn't give a direct understanding. Should I write my exam today or not? You are in confusion. If you open the book, it won't say you write your exam, you don't write your exam. It will only say you do your duty properly. So then you have to meditate on it. What is my duty? My duty is to, as a student, my duty is to study properly and write the exam. So what will you do? Then the answer it is giving is write your exams. You first study properly and write your exams. That is the answer Bhagavad Gita gives. That way Bhagavad Gita gives an answer to everything. The next one. Who will read the next one? Yeah, not Shrinika. You have already read. Harshit is over. Yeah, I don't know. I think I have to I better unmute everybody. I have unmuted all. So, yeah, Brunda, will you read this second sloka? Not sloka, may this thing? Yeah, or Sanvi? Sri Sagana. Why? Are you not unmuted? You please unmute yourself. I have unmuted all of you. They can't unmute. I have unmuted them now. You are all unmuted. Okay, Sri Sagana?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
The Gita was preached in preparatory lesson for living worldly life with an eye to release nirvana. My last prayer to everyone, therefore, is that one should not fail to thoroughly understand the ancient science of worldly life as early as possible.
Yes. So what does he say is, Gita was preached in preparatory lesson for living worldly life with an eye to release nirvana. Nirvana means living life. What is that we have learned in our SSR classes is that whatever we think when we are leaving this body will be our next life. So what should we think? When we are leaving this body, we should not think about a dog or a cat or a next life or something, a tree or a plant. We should remember the Krishna so that we will go back to our home or Vaikunta. So this is a preparatory lesson to how to live and how to leave the body. My last prayer to everyone. Why does he say my last prayer? Because the last prayer means that it means the ultimate. That means there is nothing more important than this. If you can do this, there is nothing I can ask you. That is what is meant by last prayer. Therefore, is that one should not fail to thoroughly understand the ancient science. He is not calling it as a book. He is calling it as a science of worldly life as early as possible. We should understand this as early as possible. That means at the age at which you are in now. So he is, see, such an intellectual, they are not calling it as a book. They are calling it as a science. So it has got a solution. It is the science. It means actually it may not say you do a scientific thing, but we all know that Bhagavad Gita has got a gist of all the Vedas. That means Veda has got everything in the world, everything that is there in the world, outside the world, about the universe, everything. And this Bhagavad Gita is a gist of this. So that is what he says. Next one is Albert Einstein. Brunda asked to unmute. Yeah, Brunda, you can unmute. You can read. Are you there, Brunda? Hare Krishna. Okay. Jitesh is cannot read now. He requires little time. Yeah. Siri. Now I think everybody can unmute themselves.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, we can unmute.
Yes, Mataji. Now we can unmute.
One of you read the last one.
When I read the Bhagavad Gita and reflect about how God created this universe, everything else seems so superfluous.
That means he is a scientist. Because he is a scientist, what is that he is doing? He is inventing new things. So when we invent something new, we feel very proud. Ah, I'm so great. I have invented this. This is the first feeling any one of us would get, right? Any one of us would get. So when similarly, he also should get. But what he is saying is, because I read Bhagavad Gita, and so he knows what God has done to us, what is the greatness in God's creation. The more we understand the greatness the more we get ourselves educated and the more we know about what is existing around us, then we will really wonder about the God's creation. So when we understand the greatness before in God's creation, what will the scientists do?
So cold.
Yeah, I have unmuted everybody. Please don't, please mute yourselves. Only when I ask you to read something, unmute yourselves. Otherwise, there will be a lot of disturbance. So only when we know the greatness of others, we will know how small we are. So here he is also, Albert Einstein is also saying, because I have read Bhagavad Gita, I know what before God's creation, everything else is very, very, very small. So this is the greatness of Bhagavad Gita. So this is what in the recent times people have commented on Bhagavad Gita. So the next thing is, let us go to our ancient in India. Bhagavad Gita Mahatyam, glories of Sri Adi Sankaracharya, by Adi Sankaracharya. Why are we talking about this is, we have a confusion. Who is God? In fact, we are very clear that Krishna is the God, but still we have a confusion. Is Shiva not a God? Is Durga Mata not a God? Is Brahma not a God? Is Ganesha not a God? They are all devatas. We know about it. So again, we are only recapping here why Adi Sankaracharya's words are so important. In the ancient India, when this, what happened is the Brahmin domination, so-called Brahmin domination has become so much, and whatever they said was being propagated, what being followed. So whatever they say is right. So they were ruling the total spiritual lines of the country. So in those days, they started behaving very arrogant, and they even went to the extent of doing a lot of sacrifices of animals. Actually, which is not required. Our Bhagavad Gita says sacrificing of animals is not required. So and there was the equality between all the people was lost, which Bhagavad Gita says all people are same, equal. Only based on our profession, we are divided into different sects, whether it is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisya, Sudra. That is not by birth, but by religion, but by our character, by our behavior. Bhagavad Gita is very clear about this, and all of you know about this. But this belief, this truth was not known to all the people, common people like us. And then one sect has started dominating the total society, which is wrong. When that is wrong, God does not agree to it. So he has to undo it. So what he has done is, see, when there is a lot of, once when a thread is crippled, like in Telugu we say chukkumudvadipayindi, it's very difficult to remove it. That means teaching everybody, no, what he is saying is wrong, what he is saying is wrong. It's very difficult to justify or tell anybody. So what has God done is, he wanted to cut it off first. Like when I get a cancer, if I get a cancer on this finger, rather than treating this finger when the cancer here is very aggressive, what I should do is I should cut it off first. When I cut it off, I can save the remaining body. So that way, what Krishna has done is, Buddha was born. That's also an incarnation of Krishna. So what did Buddha do? He said there is no God. What this sect was doing was, in the name of God, they were doing all wrong things. So to undo that, what Buddha has done is, there is no God. He only talked about the physical existence of our existence on this body. He said, no ahimsa, don't hurt anybody, only talk only truth. So this way, he has taught the basic principles of life. After Buddha, a lot of people who are all frustrated with the sect of people and their domination. He was most of the people have converted to Buddhism. Now, the first step is over. So the second step has to be taken. That is when Krishna has instructed Shankara as a Shiva to be born as Shankaracharya. So this Shankaracharya was born. What has Shankaracharya done? He was a great philosopher. So what he has done is, he said, like Buddha said, there is no God. As far as we know, God is different, we are different. God lives within us, he is within us, and there is the supreme God is there. So now Buddha has said there is no God. Now this Shankaracharya has to introduce God in our lives again. So he said the easiest way to say is that I am God, there is God in me, and there is God in you. I am God, you are God. Let us respect the God in each other. So he has taught people to respect each other. That means indirectly, he stopped the sacrifices. Buddha has stopped the sacrifices, which Shankaracharya has concluded. But Shankaracharya preaching was mostly initial days, it was on Shiva. So a lot of people who follow Shankaracharya start following Lord Shiva. But here, throughout his life, Shankaracharya has traveled throughout the subcontinent of India, from north to east, east to west and north to south. And then he has taught all his preachings, and also he has propagated his philosophy, and he was facing a lot of debates and also discourses. He was giving a lot of discourses, and he was also facing a lot of debates, and he has really propagated, he brought back Hinduism into our lives, which was wrongly propagated in the previous. Then Buddha said there is no God. Then again, Shankaracharya is a great personality who brought back Hinduism into our lives. So after bringing Hinduism into life, he was always, if you can see his face, he puts this the Namam this way. That means he is a follower of Shiva. But at the end of his life, because he is none other but incarnation of Shiva, Shiva is a great devotee of Lord Krishna. So he knows within his heart to heart that he is only doing his duty, and it is Krishna whom he has to propagate. So what he has done is, he has written Gita Mahatyam, which talks about the glories of Bhagavad Gita. So he talks about the glories of Bhagavad Gita. So, wait. Sanvi, can you read this? First one.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, please.
Gita Shastramidam Punyam Yaf Pathet Prayatah Puman Vishnu Padamavapnoti Bhayashoka. Translation: one who with a regulated mind recites with devotion this Bhagavad Gita scripture, which is the bestower of all virtue, will attain to the holy abode such as Vaikuntha, the residence of Lord Vishnu, which is always free from the mundane qualities based on fear and lamentation.
Lamentation means worry, badalu, kastalu, lamentation. So what is he saying? He gave the gist of Bhagavad Gita as, who is with a regulated mind, recites with the devotional. Okay, half of this is I'm not able to see. Devotion, this Bhagavad Gita scripture, which is the bestower of the virtue, will attain to a holy abode. That means if you read Bhagavad Gita with a regulated mind, we shall reach Vaikuntha, the residence of Vishnu, which is always free from all these mundane qualities, that means these earthly qualities, and fear and worries. Yeah. The next one, what he says is, Siri, can you read this? Hare Krishna, Siri, are you there?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, he is there.
Gita Dhyayana Shila
Yeah.
Shilasya Pranayama Parasya Cha Naiva Shantihi Papani Purvajanma Kritani Cha. Translation. If one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of Lord, the reactions of his past misdeeds will not act upon him.
Yes. What did we learn in our SSR class is that we today are like this because of our past life's deeds or this life's deeds. That means if we do something good in our past life to enjoy the good, we are getting this. All of us are quite comfortable and leading a happy life, right? When compared to lot many others. So because of the good deeds we have performed in our past lives, we are like this today, enjoying this life like this. And also we definitely must have done a lot of wrongs. Because of those, if at all whatever small sufferings we are having now, we are having because of the past deeds. So what we learned is, whatever good or bad we have done, we have to undergo the result of it. Karma, whatever karma we have learned in our, we have done, performed in our previous lives or these lives, we have to face them, is what we have learned in our SSR classes. And we also learned that the same thing we learned, saying that the only way to get, either it is a positive account or a negative account. So only when this positive negative will not get balanced, and positive we have to enjoy, negative we have to suffer. We come to only when we come to zero level, then only we will go back to Krishna. To go back to Krishna, one is we have to do everything in Krishna consciousness. The other one is we have to sincerely read Bhagavad Gita seriously and pray to Krishna sincerely. Only when he is happy, he can just nullify all our deeds, good or bad, and take us back to Godhead. Third one. Yeah.
Mataji, can I read Mataji?
Yeah, read.
Maline mosanam pumpam janasnanam dine dine sakrit gitamritasanam samsara malanashanam
Nasanam. Nashanam.
nashanam.
Yeah.
Translation. One may cleans himself daily by taking a bath in water, but if one takes bath every once in the sacred Gangas, water of Bhagavad Gita, for him the dirt of material life is altogether vanished.
Yes. So one may cleanse himself daily by taking bath in water, which we are definitely, all of us are doing, but this will only clear our body externally. It should clean our body internally. Internally means not the physical internally, but the mentally our thought process and everything should be cleaned. So to get that clean, we need to get good knowledge. So to do that, we have to clean ourselves. If one takes bath even once in the sacred Ganges of water of Bhagavad Gita, so he says there is no specific water like Bhagavad Gita. He says if we read Bhagavad Gita sincerely, taking bath means there are very ways. We can drink water, we can just put it on our head, we can see water like this. But only when we drink water, the water is absorbed in our body. So what he says is, we have to drink Bhagavad Gita. That means every nerve, every cell of our body should be absorbed with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, the material life. So then only the dirt from our material life will get vanquished. Yeah, this Sri Sagana, will you read?
Yes, Mataji. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Gita Gita Kartavya Kim Anya Sasta Vistarahai Ya Swayam Padmanabhasya Mukha Padmadvinista Srita. Translation: because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one need not read any other Vedic literature. One need only attentively and regularly hear and read Bhagavad Gita. In the present age, people are so absorbed in mundane activities that it is not possible for them to read all the Vedic literatures. But this is not necessary. This one book, Bhagavad Gita, will suffice because it is the essence of all Vedic literatures, and especially because it is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
All right.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Whoever has read, please lower your hands. Then whoever have not read, their hands will be upper and I can easily call them. Whoever has read, please lower their hands. Okay. So in this also, because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here it is very clearly said that Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one need to see this Vedic literature. We all know that there is huge Vedic literature available, which if we read, we really get the knowledge. But one's lifetime is not enough to reduce read the Vedic literature. So there's no need to read this Vedic literature. Just learn this, read this Bhagavad Gita. Alternatively, hear it regularly and attend to Bhagavad Gita. When we are all of you, I need not give an example for this. All of you are totally lost in your studies, and so hence you are not able to spend much time for Bhagavad Gita. And I'm really happy for some of you who are really doing chanting in spite of your hectic, busy academic schedule. I really feel very happy whenever I see the message in the group. We may not be responding because the messages are becoming too many. Whenever I see a message there that I have done so many rounds of chanting, I have done so many rounds of chanting, I feel really happy. I feel that at least a bit of a lot of satisfaction. So that way, because in this life, we are so busy that we cannot spend much time. Just understand Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavad Gita, practice it in regular time, and then that will give the benefit in the means spiritually it gives, and also knowledge wise, and in all ways it gives the benefit of reading Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. Yeah, Harshit, you have to lower your hands. Okay, who? Vishnupriya, are you there? Vishnupriya, are you there? I'm not able to see the names. Brunda, will you read?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, please.
Bharatamrita sarvasvam Vishnu Vastrad Vinishritam Gita Gangodakam Pitva Punarjanmana Vidyate. Translation: by drinking the Ganges water of Gita, the divine. Can you tell it again, Mataji?
By drinking the Ganges water of Gita, one means Pavitramaina Neelu. The Ganges water means it's sacred water. By drinking the Ganges water of Gita,
the divine quintessence of Mahabharata emanating from the holy lotus mouth of Lord Vishnu, one will never take rebirth in the material world again. In another word, devotionally
reciting the Gita. Reciting the Gita. Reciting means reading.
Reciting the Gita, the cycle of birth and death is terminated.
Yeah, this is what we are looking. Again, he is always comparing the Bhagavad Gita as with the sacred water of Ganges, because we believe that once we take bath in Ganges, all our papa, all our sins will be washed. So the divine, it is the divine quintessence of the Bhagavad emanating from the holy lotus mouth of Lord Vishnu. So that this is coming, the Mahabharata, from all the abstract of Mahabharata, this is given in Bhagavad Gita, which is coming from the holy lotus of Mahavishnu. One will never take rebirth. This is what all of us are looking again and again, not to take rebirth and to have a good life in this life. So the only way to do this is to read Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, all of you know these slokas. Jitesh, will you read this? Jitesh.
Ma'am.
Yeah, Jitesh Nandan, can you read this?
Sarvogo
Sarvopanishato
Sarvopanishato
Gavo.
Gavo Dokta Gopala Nandana Pato
What's
Vaksha
Sudhi?
Sudhir Bhokta Duktam Tatam
Geetamrutam Mahat.
Geetamritam Mahat.
Did you not learn this in Sataslokana Pandita, Jitesh? Is it not a part of that?
It was there, ma'am.
It was, yeah. Right, anyway, read the meaning.
Yes, ma'am. All the Upanishads are like a cow, and the milker of the cow is the Lord.
Sri Krishna.
Sri Krishna, the son of Nandan. Nanda. Arjuna is the calf, the beautiful nectar of the Gita in the milk, and the fortunate devotees of fine
intellect
are the drinkers and enjoyers of that milk.
Here what is said is, all the Upanishads are like cow. So reading all the Upanishads is impossible for us. We have already discussed about this. So what is the use of cow? The basic use of cow is to drink the milk from the cow. And when does the cow milk? Whenever some of us go and try to milk the cow, it won't give. It will just kick us with its back leg. So the only way to get milk from the cow is we have to leave the calf first there. So when the mother sees the cow, mother cow sees the calf, it gets the feeling of love on it, and then it starts milking. And then when after the calf drinks its milk, the balanced milk can be taken. So that way, here it says, Krishna also doesn't, Krishna, the son of Nanda, just doesn't give the milk to, give this Bhagavad Gita recitation to everybody, but he wanted to give it to all devotees, but he has used this Arjuna as the calf. Because Arjuna has asked him, he got the compassion on Arjuna, and because of that compassion, he started giving the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. It is not that Arjuna doesn't know all this. It is just that for us only Bhagavad Gita was told to Arjuna, so that all of us will practice. This is the last sloka. Who will read? Whoever has not read, please read. I am not able to see the names.
Ekam shastram devaki putram gitam eko devo devaki putreva eko mantrastasya namani yani karmani
Ekam tasya devasya seva.
Ekam tasya devasya seva. Hare Krishna. Translation: there need be only one holy scripture, the divine Gita sung by Lord Sri Krishna. only one worshipable Lord, Lord Sri
Krishna.
Lord Sri Krishna. Only one mantra, his holy names, and only one duty and devotional service upon to the supreme worshipable Lord, Sri Krishna.
Yeah, all of us know this
Hare
sloka.
Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. All of us know this sloka. No? We all learned this in Satasloka Pandita. So, translation is, we need not read all the scriptures. There need be only one holy scripture, the divine Gita sung by the Krishna. Bhagavad Gita. Gita means song. That means a song sung by Bhagavan itself. Only worshipable Lord is Sri Krishna, and the only mantra is his name. What is the only mantra? Can all of you tell?
Amma.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So, supreme worshipable Lord. And only services we have to keep
Hare
serving
Krishna,
Lord.
Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. And the only service is serving Lord Krishna. Serving Lord means it is not serving sitting in front of him and serving and doing prayers. We have to keep him in our mind in every deed we do. When we study also, like the duty of, we have to do our duties properly, whatever duty. At every age, we have a different duty. And so we have to keep, every person will have a different duty. So we have to keep doing our duties. And then while doing any duty, even while playing games or anything, we have to keep Krishna in our mind. Is this useful? Is this a good work we are doing? Is this beneficial for our devotional growth? This is what we have to keep in our mind. Are we doing the right thing? Are we harming anybody? Are we benefiting somebody? This kind of things we should keep in our mind and progress. Yeah. So finally, this is what Gita Mahatyam talks about, the greatness of Bhagavad Gita. And Sankaracharya also, while leaving his body, finally he left the song, a very famous song, Bhajagovindam song. All of us know this song. Okay, all of us know this song. Somebody can read this. Who is that?
Mataji, can I read?
Whoever has not read, please read.
I didn't read Mataji.
Dikshit Prasad. Who is it? Dikshit Prasad. Who is Dikshit Prasad? Yeah, Dikshit Prasad. Can you read this?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. Govindam Bhaja Mudamati. Samprapte Sannithe Kali. Nahi Rachyati Dukrit Nagarene.
Yeah. Who is Dikshit Prasad?
Worship Govinda, worship Govinda,
Ah.
worship Govinda. O fool, rulers of grammar, will not save you at the time of your death.
Yes.
Hare
So what?
Krishna Mataji, Dhanyavad.
Hare Krishna Nana. Who is Dikshit Prasad? If you
Mataji.
huh?
Mataji, my son Mataji.
In necessity,
Swati Mataji.
Okay.
Bhagavad-
Swati Mataji son. I got you. I got your
Second
voice.
son Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So what is he telling? Sankaracharya, finally, he, after talking everything, he finally concluded with one sentence, simple. Bhajagovindam, 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 Mudamate. Mududu means brainless fellow. He is saying, you people are all brainless, doing lot of things. You please don't do all this. The brainless fellows, the whole no grammar, nothing will apply when you are leaving your body. When you, the so will not save you. What is that saving? Saving at the time of your death means it does not mean that it is going to save us from death, not that we are going to live forever. What he means there is that saving, we are going to go for a better life, next life. That is what they mean by saying that.
Mataji, Slokas.
Huh?
Slokas testing came, Mataji, can I leave?
No.
After 5.
Yeah, right. Okay. Please, I request you not to talk. Right. So he's telling you, we people are all fools, saying that I will do this puja, I will do that puja, I will do this, I will do that, I will earn a lot of money for my children, I will learn and do a lot of things. But he's saying you are all fools. Nothing will save you at the time of death. The only thing that will give the right death to us is praying Bhajagovindam. That means do bhajam. Bhajana means we all know what is bhajana. Hare Krishna, Govindam. Govindam is Krishna. So the only thing that will save us during the time of death is Bhajagovindam. So these are the reasons why we should study Bhagavad Gita. So now coming back, we should understand one more thing. Why did Lord Krishna tell Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna? See, there are so many people in this Mahabharata time. There were lakhs and lakhs of people. He should have told to many people. In fact, Arjuna's brother Yudhishthira, who is very highly intellectual and who is who talks all the truth, and he should have told them. And or he should have told to great leaders like Dronacharya or Bhishma. But why did he tell Arjuna is because Arjuna, we have to understand one thing. In the beginning, I told you, everybody tells us, why are you learning Bhagavad Gita now? Is this the age? At this age, why should you learn Bhagavad Gita? This is for somebody who has to practice after 60s, not at this age. But why Krishna has told Arjuna is because, and normally people say that once we learn Bhagavad Gita or once we get into societies like ISKCON, we are going to leave our families and take sannyasam. This is what the wrong notion in the society we have got. So to prove that that is wrong, Krishna is never asking anybody to take sannyasam, leave the family, not to do anything and sit and pray for him. He has chosen Arjuna. The main reason is Arjuna is a family man like any of us. We are all family people. Like we have our parents, we have our children, we have our husband, and we have friends, family, relatives. So that is, you also have your parents and your brothers, sisters, and everything. We are all family people. So here Krishna is telling that this Bhagavad Gita is to be told to a family man who has got a lot of responsibilities in life. A person with responsibilities should read all this, to learn all this. Because why? To understand his responsibilities properly and then fulfill his responsibilities properly. A family man is the man who has to understand Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Something else came to my mind, I forgot. So a family man has to do his responsibilities. And next thing is, that is family man. And also Arjuna is a devotee of Krishna. Why a devotee? A friend of Krishna. A friend means why normally we also, all of you know, you are all children, you must be doing this. When your mother or father asks you to do something, you won't do. You will simply refuse it, even me. But when a friend says, immediately we'll listen. Why? Because we are in the same thinking levels. Because we like our friends, we love our friends. So it is, so he has chosen his closest friend. And also why, another reason is Krishna has got Arjuna has got lot of faith on Krishna. So because when we say something to someone, then we should know, and only when we are confident that the others are going to listen to us, we tell. Otherwise, what is the use? If I think that none of you are going to listen to me, why will I start the class? When I started this class, only 2 people joined. Then I was in 2 months. Am I doing the right thing? So then slowly one of you joined. So that gives me little confidence. That means when we are saying something, we require some confidence that others are going to listen to us. So that way also, it is very important. That is the reason. Here, the main reason what we have to understand is that Krishna is not, Bhagavad Gita is not asking anybody to leave our families and go away. It will only tell us to do our duties properly. So that is what we have to keep in mind. When somebody says, if you learn Bhagavad Gita, your children will get spoiled, you will get spoiled. This is the answer you have to give. Bhagavad Gita was told to family people. And Bhagavad Gita is told to perform your duties properly, not to run away from your duties. In fact, Arjuna wanted to run away from his duties, which Krishna made him understand his duties and made him follow. And then the next thing is, when the war started, what happened? What did Lord Krishna do for his devotee is one very important thing what all of us should understand. What Krishna does for his devotees. Actually, Krishna, many times I think I have told, Krishna blesses his devotees with a lot of things. But one thing he does not give free is devotion. That means devotion is something what we have to earn by ourselves. Why? Because the moment we become a devotee, Krishna becomes surrenders to us. So that means whatever we want, Krishna does. Whatever we are suffering from, Krishna does. Here you can see, like when many of us have cars and drivers. When we look at a driver, we look at him in a lower cadre. Oh, driver. Okay. So that way, that means here, what is the position Krishna has taken? He has taken the position of a driver. Here, driver means it's not a bench car or a big car where he can comfortably sit and drive. He is going to sit in the chariot. He is going to sit at the feet of Arjuna. Krishna is the creator, the supreme personality of Godhead. He had to serve his devotee, to guide his devotee. What has he done? He has come and sat at the feet of Arjuna. And also there it does not end. In the war, when the war is going on, it's a physical war. Even these days wars also, it will be a lot of tension. In that war, Arjuna will not have time to say, Krishna, go right, go left, go straight. He will not have time because he is busy in concentrating, doing things and putting his arrows. So how does Arjuna tell Krishna to go right, left and all? Because his hands are busy with his arrows, he keeps kicking Krishna on his back. That means Krishna has taken the kicks of his devotee to serve Arjuna. So this is how Krishna yields to serves his devotees. This is what all of you should understand. Okay, so it is very the way. Anyway, we have to understand one thing here. Even though we are not devotees of Krishna, even though we are against Krishna, even though we abuse Krishna, a lot of people say that there is no God, there is no Krishna, and they talk all sorts of rubbish. Even to them, Krishna is serving. Is he not serving? Who is giving the air around us with which we are living? Who is giving the food to us? It is Krishna who is giving. So even to the people whom he hates, who hate Krishna, not Krishna hates, but who hates Krishna, also Krishna does lot of service. Whatever we are getting, anything and everything available to us is a blessing of Krishna, which we should never forget in our life. Anything and everything. Sitting like this, suppose my breath stops, I just fall off, finish. That's all. That is the end of it. So where am I getting this breath? If I am sitting like this and talking, if I am sitting in such a comfortable place, if this laptop is working, if this Wi-Fi is on, how is all this happening? There can be but scientific. Suddenly something fails. We don't know why it fails. So if everything is going smoothly, it is the blessing of Krishna. So Krishna is giving us all this. This is something which we should never forget. Okay. So what does Bhagavad Gita teach us? So now coming to this, what does Bhagavad Gita teach us? So what does it teach? So Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to control our senses. This is the main problem what all of us are facing. Controlling our senses, this is where, that is the root cause for our problems. Okay, and mind and intellect. That means we know intellectually, normally we know that what we are doing is wrong, what we are doing is right. How does we get that knowledge? We get that knowledge from reading the scriptures. So again, the mind says do it, the intelligence says don't do it. So how to control this is what Krishna tells us, Bhagavad Gita tells us. It also tells us, Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to control our ego. More than senses, more than mind and intelligence, the greatest enemy anybody has is ego. Ego means I am great, I am the greatest, the others are small. This is what we have. this controlling this ego is the greatest thing. See, even Krishna can think that he is great because he is the creator, but he has gone to the level of serving his devotees. That is what is not having ego. So it also, next, the fourth, what it teaches is it tells us about ourselves, self, our soul, and our spirit soul. So only after coming to Bhagavad Gita, all of us know that we have a soul, but we know what is the importance of this soul, how this soul is taking us to next life, and all this is known to us only after studying Bhagavad Gita. So it tells us about the spirit soul, and how to, only when we understand what the spirit soul is and what its importance is, we will know how to control the above three, the sense, the mind, intelligence, and the ego. We will know only of this, and then we will understand the difference between the above three and the soul. I mean, how to control them, how to utilize the self, and all this it will teach us. It will also teach us about the duties. I mean, like what we have to do now to get detached from all these senses, this ego and mind and intelligence. Bhagavad Gita will teach us. Bhagavad Gita, and then when we say duties, there are two kinds of duties which we have. It will teach us about those two duties also. Many of you know about this. One is constitutional duty, conditional duty, and the other one is constitutional duty. And the conditional duty is related to body. Body up to the level of society is called conditional duty, because we are living in this body. Our soul is there in this body. So we have got some responsibilities. That is called conditional duties. So that also Bhagavad Gita teaches us. And constitutional duty. Constitution means, what is this main constitution? That means I am the spirit soul. It teaches us about the spirit soul. And the spirit soul means, what does it teach? It teaches us about the Krishna consciousness. And how we should be grateful to Krishna for what all Krishna has provided us, it teaches us. And it teaches us how we should have, this also teaches us how we should have the relationship, this self, this soul, how it should have a relationship with Krishna also it teaches us. And what kind of relationship we have? We should have a loving devotional service. That means we all know that we have to do devotional service to Krishna. When we know that, but it should be a loving devotional service, not out of force. Ammo, if I don't do this service, Krishna will get angry and he will punish me. Not like that. Because the way we love a baby in our house, we should love Krishna. The way we love a mother, we should love Krishna. The way a mother loves the baby, or the way a baby loves the mother, that kind of a love, that means there's nothing else in this world except that. That kind of a love we should have on Krishna. And we will understand the joy of performing devotional service for to the Supreme God. And this we will be able to understand only when we understand Bhagavad Gita properly. And we will understand how we are struck with the bodily enjoyment of the senses, and how, because of the ego, how we are not able to come out of these bodily enjoyments. And the ego more than bodily enjoyments, the ego is what is really kills all of us and puts us in the wrong direction. So it will tell us how to get out of the ego level, and it will take us above the ego level to the spirit level. And because once we understand Krishna, the way Einstein has said, he might have his ego saying that I will have great scientific inventions, but because he understood what Krishna is, he never had the ego of being a great devotion. So it also talks about the Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayoga. It talks about these three qualities. Sambandha means interrelation. The interrelation is between, it is a total theoretical knowledge. Sambandha knowledge means it's a total theoretical knowledge. Where are we? Who am I? And all that. How we should have relation. All this it says. Sorry. Abhideya. Abhideya will have way to reach God and how to revive the relation. In Sambandha, we understand the relation, who God is and who we are. So Abhideya means how to revive the relation. Not to get a relation first, how to revive the relation which we forgot and which we have forgotten. Abhideya will tell us how we have to revive our relation. Prayojana. Prayojana, it's a Sanskrit word, all of us know the meaning of it. Prayojana means it gives the benefits. And how like we have got a lot of knowledge on Bhagavad Gita. How this knowledge is going to be useful to us, it will give us. And it will give us self-realization about this knowledge. And normally we say, Aham Brahmasmi. That means I am not this matter, but I am the spirit soul. It will also make us say that more than Aham Brahmasmi, it says, it tells us Dasosmi. That means I am the Das, I am the servant. Whose servant are we? We are the servant of the Supreme Lord. That means we are not even the direct servants of Supreme Lord. We at our level, we don't have so much of devotion to be the servant of Krishna. If we are the servant of some great devotee, that itself is a biggest boon for us. And we will also understand when we know that we are the servant of a small servant in such a big hierarchy, our ego will be undone, gone. Because only when we think that we are owners, we are great, then only this ego will come. The moment we understand that we are servants, the ego will be gone. And also we will understand the root cause of worry and tension. Arjuna had a lot of worry and tension and approached Krishna, because of which Krishna has told Bhagavad Gita. So after listening to Bhagavad Gita, he lost all his worry and tension, and then he has gone as per the preachings of, he understood what Krishna has told, and as per that he has proceeded. Okay, it actually, this makes us leaders also, but it makes us servant leaders. That means we will be guiding a lot of people in the mood of a servant, not thinking that I am a leader, I am great. It thinks that I am a servant of this total group. That way it makes us think, and then it teaches us. And this makes us develop love on Krishna, and it gives a win-win situation to all of us. Yeah. What does Bhagavad Gita talk about? All of us know about this, no? Actually, time is over, that's why I'm going fast. We all know it talks about Ishvara. It talks about Ishvara is Krishna. Ishvara, again here, when we normally use this Ishvara means Shiva, but it means it is the Ishvara. Ish means the world, the creator of the world, the controller of the world. Who is it? That is Krishna. It talks about Ishvara. It talks about Jiva, the living entities. It talks about the total 84 lakh species of living entities. And Kala. It talks about Kala, means time, not the time what we look at all. It talks about the total manifestation from the time of creation of this cosmic manifestation to the end. That means the lifespan of Brahma. That's what it talks about. And also it talks about karma. All of us know what this karma is. Karma is the deeds what we do and the reactions of these deeds. What we get, what we are doing, and what is the effect of the actions we are doing. It talks about the effect, karma. And finally, it talks about Prakriti. Prakriti is nothing but the material nature. Material, everything available is Prakriti. It talks about Prakriti. Jiva is also a part of the Prakriti, because we are also a part of all this. Jiva is also a part of Prakriti. There is called Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti. I think you are aware of this. Para is about the Jivas, and Apara Prakriti means there is no Jiva, like the stone and other things where there is no life, is called Apara Prakriti. Okay, these are all the things which Bhagavad Gita talks about. And all of us know this also. this Bhagavad Gita is like a jewel box. The chapter 1 to 6 talks about the Karma Yoga. You all know about this, so I'm just going fast. Karma Yoga, which is the lower portion of the jewel box, and the middle portion is 7 to 12 chapters, which is Bhakti Yoga. The upper portion is 13 to 18 chapters, which is Jnana Yoga. That means this Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, which is the most important, which will take us to Lord Krishna, is kept inside, in the middle of a jewel box. In the middle of a jewel box. It's also, to make it more understanding, it is also compared to a burger in the latest world, in the latest life. That means the lower portion of it is Karma Yoga, the upper portion of it is Dhyana Yoga, and the middle portion of it is Bhakti Yoga. Because what happens is, what is the use of eating the upper portion and lower portion? Our stomach will get filled. But the real essence, to get the energy, get the real proteins or whatever is required, what is that we have to eat? We have to eat the vegetables and proteins which is there in the middle. So the middle part, the Bhakti Yoga, is what is very important. Okay. And all of us, you know what is yoga. All of you know what is yoga, no? It is nothing but linking. It is the linking with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. With the philosophy of all this learning, all this Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, we try to link ourselves with the God. Okay, sorry, this is. And finally, if we come to this, and as we know, Krishna talks about all this, but he always recommends us only to follow Bhakti Yoga. So it is up to decide whether we require to go with Dhyana Yoga or other yogas, or with Bhakti Yoga. So now I think this is, we have come to an end of this today's session, Introduction to Bhagavad Gita. But because you people may not be having much idea about the why this war has, all of you know that this Bhagavad Gita was told in the war field between Kauravas and Pandavas. So you should understand, it's better, I'll just give a brief. It's always recommended for all of you to see in your holidays, whenever you have free time, the Mahabharata serial, which comes in Doordarshan. It's always available to everybody. You can see, you'll understand. There are very great characters. Every character will give us one great message. So anyway, I'll just go in a brief way the hierarchy of this Kuru Vamsa. So this is the Kuru dynasty. The king was King Shantana. He had, his first wife was Ganga. I'm just going very fast. I hope you understand. Just try to understand, because you will have this. You can even have any doubts, you can ask me later. So she had a son. She had a lot of sons, but only son who survived is Bhishma. Because every sentence I used here, I'm going to tell you here, will have a very big story behind. So for me also, it's very difficult to go, but I'll tell you, she has a living son who was living during this. His name is, what is his name? I forgot his name. His original name is, you know his name. So he's called as Bhishma. Why he is called as Bhishma is, so this Santan Maharaj, when this son was grown up, when he was at his marriage age, he falls in love with a lady called Satyavati. But he is a gentleman, he didn't want to marry her. But this Bhishma comes to know about the father getting his father falling in love with this man. And then what he does is, what he does is, because he knows that because he is there and he is to get married, his father is not getting married. This boy himself goes and approaches Satyavati's father and asks them to give Satyavati in marriage to Shantana. Then her father refuses, saying that if my daughter marries your father, you will become king, and my daughter's children will not become the kings. They will become your servants, which I don't want to have. So what he does is, for the happiness of his father, actually this man is a very brave man. He is the biggest, he's the greatest fighter, as great as Arjuna or greater than Arjuna. Even Arjuna during the war could not kill him, if not for Bhishma himself. Bhishma himself tells him how to kill him. That's how Arjuna could kill him. So he was such a great warrior, but in spite of that, he says, okay, for the sake of my father, I will not get married. If I don't get married, I will not have children. So if I don't have children, there is no problem. So that way, Bhishma takes a oath. And so because he takes a oath, his name has come as Bhishma. His name is
Devavrata.
Devavrata, right. You are right, Andy. I'm really sorry, I'm not getting it. Okay, Devavrata. Devavrata is given the name of Bhishma. So later, Satyavati was married to Shantana and she had 2 sons. But unfortunately, later, because Shantana became old and he died, and then Satyavati's elder son also died in a battle. And then her second son, Vichitravirya, he was married to Amba and Ambalika. And unfortunately, before having children, he also died. So now Bhishma, Devavrata Bhishma, has taken a oath not to have married. So now what happened? The family, the dynasty is left without children. See, here you children are small, so just try to understand what I am saying. In every as the time passes, the rules of the society changes. So in those days, there were some rules with which widows also can have children. So this Satyavati, before her marriage, she had a son called Vyasa Maharshi, who is a great sage who has written Mahabharata. So that man is Satyavati's son. Those days, there was a rule which is called levirate. Levirate means when a lady, a widow, doesn't have children, she can have children with her husband's brother. So this Amba and Ambalika gets one child each, called Dhritarashtra. Amba's son is called Dhritarashtra and Ambalika's son is called Pandu. And the third one, and with the servant maid there also, he has one more son called Vidura. So these are the 3 children. So now, unfortunately, Dhritarashtra is the son of the elder queen, and he is elder to Pandu, but he should have become the king. And unfortunately, he was a blind king. Because he was a blind king, he could not, a blind king, a king should be physically in a proper, fit in all ways to rule a king. Because he should, a blind king cannot become a king because he cannot see. So Dhritarashtra was unfit to be a king. So naturally, the kingdom went to Pandu Maharaj. So, but Pandu Maharaj, so Dhritarashtra, now Pandu and Dhritarashtra are 2 sons. Whoever has the elder child would become the next king. But unfortunately, so later Dhritarashtra married Gandhari and Pandu Maharaj married 2 wives, Kunti and Madri. Okay, so Kunti and Madri. So Dhritarashtra with Gandhari had 100 children. So here also, again, I want to tell the greatness of those days. That is the reason, again, I am talking about this. The Gandhari wanted to have an elder son than Pandu so that her son will become the king. But unfortunately, Pandu had the elder son Yudhishthira first. So they knew that the kingdom is going to Yudhishthira. So Gandhari was so upset. She was carrying and about to deliver, or a few months before, she just gets upset and she hits her stomach so bad that the fetus in the womb splits into 100 pieces. So, but then everybody was upset that the child is dying. So then Vyasa Muni comes, and we say that we have so much of scientific updations now. We can do all these test tube babies and many other things. So all these 10 fetuses are kept in 10 pots, and they are taken care, and from one child, 100 children are born. That means Gandhari has 100 sons that way and one daughter called Dushchala. I am going very fast. You people might get confused. But if you have any doubt, you can ask me later. And now Pandu. Raju has 2 wives, and from the elder wife, he has 3 children, Yudhishthira, Bhima, and Arjuna. Yudhishthira is also called as Dharmaraju because he always goes as per dharma. He follows justice. He never does anything wrong. So Yudhishthira is also called as Dharmaraju. So his second wife Madri had 2 sons, Nakula and Sahadeva. So, this Nakula and Sakadeva, these 5 children, even though they are born to 2 different wives, they are very close to each other and they live as if, and Madri and Pandu, the dies when these children were very young, and Kunti brought them up as if all the 5 were her own children. And Krishna, Lord Krishna, is the son of Kunti's brother. So they are direct cousins of Pandavas. So now the war happens because the Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhana wanted to have the king, and here, as per justice, it is Yudhishthira who should get the kingdom. So these people also wanted, and they also wanted. And when the children were being brought up, there was many times of injustice was done to Pandavas, and many times Duryodhana tried to kill Pandavas. But fortunately, because of the mercy of Krishna and direct support of Krishna, all these Pandavas survived. And they underwent lot of problems, and finally, because Duryodhana refused to give kingdom to Pandavas, the war took place. In the war, and the most important thing is, before having the war, those days Bharat, India, means it is not the India what all of us know now. The total world is called Bharatavarsha, Bharat. Later this India name has come. The total world is a single country called as Bharat. So that is the thing. So the war, that it is nothing but a world war which has taken. The Mahabharata Yuddham, where this Bhagavad Gita was told, is a world war. That was the first world war where crores of people participated. And then before the world war, because it was a war in the world war, these are the 2 parties. One party is led by Duryodhana, one is Kauravas and the other one is Pandavas. So everybody, they have to build their main army. So they start approaching each country and start taking their support. Like in your school also, when you start playing games and when you form into 2 teams, you go and talk to all your friends. You come and join my group, you come and join my group. That way Pandavas and Kauravas, they started collecting their support. While doing that, Krishna also is a king, so they all have to go to Krishna. So both of them go, Duryodhana and Arjuna goes to Krishna. First Duryodhana goes. So when he goes, Krishna was sleeping. He will be sleeping. So Krishna, what Duryodhana does is, here, see how ego prevails. Duryodhana goes, and there is a chair next to Krishna's feet and a chair next to his head. First Duryodhana goes and sits at the feet of Krishna. Think, why I should sit at the feet of Krishna? He gets up there and then goes and sits at the head of Krishna. Then later, Duryodhana, Arjuna comes. And then he happily goes and sits at the feet of Krishna. Then when we wake up, what happens is, we don't see who is next to us. We normally see who is at our feet. So Krishna opens his eyes and then sees Arjuna and then asks what he wants. Then later he sees Duryodhana. Then he says, first I have seen Arjuna. So the first option I shall give to Arjuna what he wants. So what Krishna said is, I am making my total strength into 2. One is myself alone, and the second one is my total empire, my total kingdom, my total army and everything is one group, and myself alone is one group. And in my group also, when I go with your support also, I won't do any fighting. I won't touch anything. I'll just sit there and support you. I'll be your Rathsarathi. This is what Krishna offered. So then this Duryodhana will be upset. Hare, what is this kind of partition? This naturally Arjuna is going to ask for the total thing. What will I do with this Krishna alone as a single person? But Arjuna knows who Krishna is. He knows the strength of Krishna. He knows who he is. So immediately Arjuna very happily opts for having Krishna in his party. And Duryodhana also was happy. Oh, very good. This Krishna has gone to Arjuna. I'll have his total kingdom. So that is how Arjuna came to Krishna in the war field. And throughout war also, he acted as a charioteer, but he never fought for Arjuna. But he was always guiding him. This is the background of this Kurukshetra Yuddham. I just wanted to give you this background. Okay. So we shall end here. The lesson it has for too long. This is the background of Kurukshetra, and I have given a lot of brief about why we should understand Bhagavad Gita. So from next week, from next Sunday, we shall go sloka by sloka. Hare Krishna. I shall stop here. Hare Krishna. Okay. Any doubts? Anybody has?
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Any doubts?
Krishna Mataji.
Mataji.
Yeah, Harshit. Yeah.
Mataji, Yujutsu. Who is Yujutsu?
Yudhishthira is the elder son of Pandavas. Are how many? 5, right? No. The elder one is Yudhishthira. His original name is Yudhishthira, and but because he is called as Dharmaraju, because he is always following Dharma.
Mataji, నేను యుయుత్సు అక్కడ మీరు ఒక పేరు ఇచ్చారు యుయుత్సు అని.
యుయుత్సు ఎవరమ్మా?
అదే అక్కడ దాంట్లోనే ఉంది కింద ఏదో
ఎక్కడమ్మా? From the maid join. Very important, Amma. You can ignore that. Shakuni is there. Shakuni is here. Shakuni is the brother of Gandhari. Brother of Gandhari.
Shakuni ki left side.
Yutsu. From the maid joined Pandavas. Dhritarashtra. I really don't know, Nana. I'll find out and tell. It just missed my sight. Even though I got this, I didn't. Yutsu. From the maid joined Pandavas. That means a person from this Kuruvamsa, but because he believed that Pandavas are right, he joined Pandavas. Here the grouping is done. All the blue is Kauravas, the pink is Pandavas, things like that. Right. Any more doubts? Right. Okay. Right. Shall we close here?
Yes.
Any more doubts?
No.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you, Mataji.
Wait. I should give you the attendance. I forgot. Attendance.
Yes, Mataji. Ma'am, already 2-3 members had left.
Left. Who has left?
Mataji, you haven't sent it.
I'm sending them.
Okay, Mataji.
Mataji, I am Deeksha.
Yeah, mark. Who is that? You can mark your attendance.
Mataji, Rohan also there.
Yeah.
Rohan, kamu kichesari.
Whoever is there, please mark.
Mataji. Dandavad Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Rohan, next time when you join, you rename yourself as Rohan there. Don't put your
Hare
father.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Whoever has marked attendance can leave.
Krishna.
I have marked none. Sai
Okay.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Ananta. Who is Ananta? Sumna Mataji's son. Anant sir. Oh, can I close?
Mataji.